All right, number 9. So let's go and read it for a second here. So 4 violin students recorded the number of days they practiced violin each month for a year. Which stem and leaf plot has the mode and median values that are equal? So a couple things. First of all, this is a stem and leaf plot. You may run into some different looking data distributions. You might see a what is that called? A box and whisker plot. Try your best with that. But I can help definitely here with this, the meaning of this at least, which is each of these things represents a number. For example, over here with 0, 0, 1, this is the number 1. This is number 5, 6, 8, 9. 1, 0 is 10, 14, 15, 18, 22, 25, and 30. So each of these, and you can see the key there, 1, 2 is 12. So just the number out in front, and then each of the numbers in the back represents kind of the ones spot. This is the tens spot. These are the ones spots. So anyway, median, or I guess I should say mode. Let's start with mode first. Mode is what number shows up the most. Okay, so when you're looking at this, there's 11 shows up twice, 21 shows up 1, 2, 3, 4, but 31 shows up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the mode is 31. We could do that for each one. Really, there is no mode here. So right there, you really just kind of want to cross it out. When I say there's no mode, there's really no repeating numbers. 1, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 18, 22, 25, 30. No repeating numbers. So that's not going to fly. C, you can kind of see I already did this problem once, but the mode would be 13. Because these all show up only once, 13 shows up twice, so the mode is 13. And the mode here would most definitely be 10. 10. Okay. Now, we already crossed one out. The question is, when is the median the same as the mode? Well, what is the median? Let's find the median for this one. So the way you find the median is it's the exact middle number. So the way I usually do it is I start crossing off. So here's my first number crossed off. Here's my last number. And then I just go to the next one and the next one, the next one, and the next one. And then I'll cross out the 4 and this 31. So the 14 and the 31. All right, next would come the 21 and I just kind of just alternate first, last, first, last. Okay, so you're down to these two. These are both 21. So the median is 21. So that one is out. That one is out. Okay. Let's check out the median here. So first, last, first, last, first, last, next. What's our mode? 13. So we're getting close. Here's the problem. What happens is you get down to 13 and 8. And when you do the median, if there's an even number of numbers, you take the average of 13 and 8. So you end up with 8 and 13 as you cross numbers out. First, last, next, 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 next. Oops, wait. I messed that up. Anyway, you end up with 13 and 8. So you take the average and you get a median of 10.5. So it's not that one. So we know the answer now. But just to show you that the mode and the median are the same, start crossing out. First, last, next, 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 next. Nothing but 10s. All right. So there you go. So that's median and mode. Those might come up. Give me 1 second. Let me get my other packet with a little bit less work on it here. So 10, I trust you could do. I will go over 11, not necessarily because I think it's hard, but because I think it's worth just talking a little bit about. Because function notation is so new to us. It's probably worth talking about. So this is function notation, and it basically just says Albert sells baseball programs at a stadium. This function, m of x equals 250 times x, represents the total amount of money collected in dollars for selling X baseball program. So that means they're selling each program for $2.50. Each program is $2.50. X is the number of programs they would sell. So fill in the table with the amount of money that each number of programs sold would make them in terms of money. So remember, this is called function notation. Now, this looks pretty familiar. We could put it, and I'll show you what we could put instead of a m of x, but m is the name of the function, x is what you're plugging in, okay? And then you plug it in and you find basically the y, all right? So the way you'd write this with function notation is you plug in 150 in for x. Think about a table. This is your x, this is your y. So this is saying they sold 150 programs at $2.50 a piece. All right, and so $2.50 times 150 is $375. So this says the function m, when we plug in 150, we get 375, and that's dollars. All right, and you do that for each of these numbers. I'm not going to plug it in for you, but I do want to show you if this m of x, remember when we did functions and I said, look, if you see the word function and you see something like this, a letter and x, m of x, g of x, h of x, I think c of x is what it uses down here. You can just replace it with y. You can just replace it with y. All right. Just remember, this lays it out for you. This is my x, this is my y. Here, you have to remember that, oh yeah, I'm plugging in 150, but I guess it's not terribly hard. So just make sure you do that. You get 375 and you plug it in. So, or put it in your table. So definitely, change it to y if you need to. All right. All right. So don't let the word function or even the look of a function really kind of rattle you. These are linear. This is constant growth. Every time you sell a program, it's for $2.50. In the one above up here, it's $2.50 for every program. So it's constant growth. Every time you sell a program, you go up $2.50 in profit. Okay. Here's the opposite of it, though, in the sense that was the profit. That's how much they're making. This is how much it costs to print programs. So it says the cost in dollars to print up X programs for each game is represented by the function C of X equals 50 cents times X plus $40. In all honesty, I don't know what this could represent in terms of, maybe it's 50 cents to produce each program. Yep. 50 cents to print up each program, and maybe it's $40 for like a fee, like to use the printer or to use the machine. I don't know. But it's 40 flat and then 50 for every single program after that. So again, if you need to put Y, the only reason that it gets confusing when you put Y now is you're going to have to compare these two on the next page. And if they're both Y equals, that might confuse you. I don't know. To have this, that's why we have names, and I'll show you that in a second. All right. But you can change it to Y for now because this is a constant growth or a consistent growth or rate of change and a starting value, a y-intercept. So if you remember this, you could even change it to 1/2 x if you want. Starting at $40, it's 50 cents for every program. So 1/2 up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. If you remember that this is the y-intercept and this is the slope. Okay. Now, if you don't remember that, just plug in some numbers. What I mean is, why don't I use the function here? I'll write it as, you normally would, and plug in some numbers, just like you did up top. So up top, you plugged in these numbers they told you, but here, just pick some numbers. Here, let's plug in 20. You could do 10. You could do 10, but let's do 20 since we already have a point there. And you plug in 20. All right, so C of 20, we plugged in 20, so 50 cents or half of 20 is 10. So what this says then is plus the 40, so C of 20 equals 50. So 2050 is a point. Look at that. It's right there. If you plug in 40, you'll get 60. You plug in 60, you'll get 70. That's how it goes. Connect it. There you go. All right. All right. So finally here with number 11. So Albert earns a bonus when the money collected is greater than the cost to print the programs. And think about it. If you're running a business, you want to make more money than how much it costs to produce whatever you're making. If you sell pizzas, you don't want to sell a pizza for $10 that took you or that cost you $10 to make. You made no money. If I make a pizza, and it costs $5, I'll charge $10. I'll make $5 for every pizza. Now that's a little simpler than it actually is, but what it's saying is this is the same as any business. They want to make more money than for what it costs to make it. So this dude gets a bonus if, or his bonus, I should say, is equal to 1/2 the difference between these two. That's kind of this right here is kind of our second step to deal with his bonus. All right. So we'll deal with the bonus later, but it says how much money does Albert earn as a bonus if they sell 309 programs? So first, plug in 309 into each of them and find. So this is how much money they're making. So M, money, this is the money they're making. So when they sell 309 programs, they're making $772.50. Okay. And then how much does it cost to print up 309 programs? Silly way to say it there. All right, I'm just going to do this all in one step. So 309 times 1/2 and then plus 40 is 194. Wow. So they made $700 and it only cost them almost $200 to print. So first of all, that means Albert's going to get a bonus because it just says as long as the cost or the money collected is greater than the cost, then Albert's going to get his bonus. So good for him. And I think the question is how much money is he going to earn, right? What's the bonus? So it says the bonus is equal to 1/2 the difference between these two. So what that means is let's take the difference between these two. So 772.5 minus 194.5. So all I did there was I subtracted basically this is going to be how much money they made right here. This is the money made. This is the cost. And this is the profit. This is how much they're walking away with. That's the profit. It costs this much to make. This is how much money they raked in, but the difference is the actual profit, what they actually get to keep. So basically what it's saying is Albert's bonus is 1/2 of the difference between these two. We just took the difference, so let's do 1/2. 1/2 of 578. That's a heck of a bonus. I guess he owns the joint. Oops. Divide it by 2. Sorry. Or take it times 1/2. Let's see here. 578 divided by 2. That's his bonus. That's his bonus right there. 1/2 of the difference of the money they made. All right. Now, one other thing I wanted to mention here is explain why you did each step. If it says this, you're going to have to use some words. Explain why you did each step. Basically, just say, the question asked for us to find how much it costs and how much money they made on 309 baseball cards. So my first step was to find or not baseball cards, baseball programs. Just find that. Once I found that and saw that they made more money than it cost, I realized Albert gets his bonus, and his bonus is half of the profit. So taking the difference, or is half of the difference between the money made and the cost, I found that, and I took half of it to get Albert's bonus. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take care, and look out for the next video.